Hello YouTube, I'm back. It's been about a year since our last video, so we'll go around the yard and I'll show you what new projects I'm working on and do some cold starts and just updates on what's going on. So here we go. We got the old 4-liter Jeep. None of these vehicles have been started in probably about 5 months, so we got a new project here. It's a 78 Dodge D150 short bed, 2-wheel drive, 225 slant 6, granny low 4-speed. Neat little truck. We'll do a cold start on that and do a walk around on that. Got a bed on that old dually F100. It's not mounted, but I just got it on there. The rear duals actually rub on it, so we need to figure out some spacers on that. But got that bed for cheap. Couldn't turn that down. There's the old IDI. I pulled it out yesterday with the Bobcat. We'll do a cold start on that. This thing hasn't been started in probably about 4 months or so. So we'll do a start on that. And here's a project truck. It's a 69. It was a C10 that somebody was doing a 4x4 conversion on. They cut out all the independent front and mounted leaf springs and halfway mounted a front axle, and they took the trailing arms out and coils and mounted leaf springs. So I've got this as a parts truck for another 69 I was working on, but it turned out to be too nice. I didn't want to tear it apart, so we'll start in on this one when I'm done with those other ones. So we got that. Pretty much sold everything off in my other videos. I ended up selling off of the big block Suburban. I sold the 5-liter Mustang. I sold, I had another Grand Cherokee WJ Overland that I sold. I sold the FJ Cruiser. I sold that crew cab, the red and gray F350. 1 ton, I sold that. All within like a 2-month, 3-month period. So I ended up selling off all those and reinvesting in this one. Picked up this one. Picked up another Grand Cherokee for the wife, an old 5.9, a 98. So that's a fun little Jeep. Ended up picking up a couple work truck, like daily driver trucks. Here's one of them. It's a 2000 7.3 crew cab short bed. Has 260,000 on it. It's an automatic. Runs good. The transmission kind of shifts a little sluggish. It's not slipping, it just shifts a little sluggish. So I have to figure that out. Did a little TS tuner in it, and that woke it up, which is nice. And just got that as kind of like a family truckster. Ended up picking this Super Duty up for myself. I got the white one for the wife, and I got this one for myself. This is a late 99 250 crew cab, 7.3, 6-speed. I'm pretty sure from the reading I've done, I think it's the one with the forged internals. So I don't know how to really determine that, but I think at least I hope it is. So this one's got 270,000 on it. I did a TS in this one as well, and just a little cleanup on it, and I had put a driver's seat in it, but this truck checked all the boxes I was looking for. Um, got a little bumps and bruises. It was a work truck. Guy hauled heavy equipment with it and turned out to be an old family friend of mine, old timer. So I knew he took real good care of the truck, maintenance wise. So it's not beat to death. You know, I was initially looking for a Cummins, but man, the Cummins guys they want so much money for, a mileage outbeat Cummins. Plus I wanted, I needed a crew cab for the kids, and, Cummins, the year that I wanted, only comes with the extra cab, so that wasn't really an option, and they're really hard to find in a manual, so I went with the Super Duty, which is fine. So there's that. So I got that old Dodge wagon. I didn't sell that off. That's all parked in the yard. It hasn't been touched since that last video. So just a few weird little projects I've been working on here. I worked this old Yamaha G1. I think it's an 80 or 81. This thing had been sitting for years, was sunk in a pond. So I had to go through the motor and just clean everything out and go through the fuel system and rebuild the fuel system, and got it running for a couple of weeks, and took the governor off it, got it up to, I think it does about 18. I don't know how the people are getting, I'm reading that people are getting 30 miles an hour out of them, but I don't see how they're doing that. So anyways, it ran for a couple of weeks good, and the fuel system clogged up again, so I had to tear apart the system again, and it's halfway back together, but it should run. Just another thing I need to put together. So I've been working on that. Got an old Cabover. I wanted to do a little overland rig with my Super Duty, so I was looking for a compact Cabover and found this one. It's a 91 6-pack. Weighs 1,350 pounds empty. I'm pretty sure it's for a half ton. It came out of like an 03 Chevy 1500 short bed, kind of like that year, but Chevy short bed. And yeah, I didn't want a giant Cabover hanging off that lifted truck, so I wanted something smaller, so this worked out perfect. And did a little halfway remodel on it, repaint and cabinet doors and the little laminate flooring, and I still need to go through the propane heater, and the fridge works on shore power, and the stove works, and the lights work. It's got a 100-watt solar panel up top run to the house battery in here, so that's nice. So we used it a few times just for day trips. It was fun. You can't even feel it in the back of the Super Duty. We put it in the back of the wife's white one, and it was fun. So this thing needs to be just a few little things buttoned up on it. I wanted to repaint it like a dark gray and put it on my big lifted Super Duty and have it just stay there. I'll end up pulling the jacks off and everything, and it'll just stay on that truck. And that'll be like our family overlanding type deal. So there's that I've been working on. The wife's Yukon, we parked that because it needs a water pump. Started running hot. So weather was coming, and I didn't feel like tearing into her car, so I ended up getting that 5.9 Cherokee. I'll show you that in a different video. So that needs a water pump. Here's the old Galaxy. I moved it closer to the shop because I wanted to maybe start in on it, maybe mock up that 429 I got for it, but I never got that far, so it got shoved back here. So here's another one. It's a 6x6 amphibious Max 4, I think it is. Yeah. So never really seen one of these, and it's a buddy of mine, so it needs all new sprockets and axles and chains and bearings and everything. The motor needs put back in with the trans. I have all that stuff over there. So I kind of tore it down and see what it needed, and found out that the parts are super expensive, so it's sitting here waiting for money. So that would be a really cool rig to get going. So there's that. Been working on this. It's a 69 C20. That's what that other 69 C10 over there was, a parts truck for this one, because I needed a front grille and a cooling system and a bumpers and a fuel tank and a bench seat, and this truck was missing all that stuff when I got it, so I was going to use that green truck for parts truck for this, because this is going to be a surprise truck for my wife's father. We got to talking a couple months ago, and he had mentioned how he really loves these era trucks, 67 to 72. You know, would be a dream truck of his, and you know, he'd mentioned he wanted a long bed, and two-wheel drive's fine, but he wanted a V8 and a 4-speed. So I did some scouring on the internet. It took me a couple weeks to find it, because these trucks are getting hard to find out here. Even the long beds are, because people are buying them up and chopping them into short beds. So I've been cleaning it up, working on it. Gear vendor, overdrive in it. Saw that, climbed under the truck, saw that, instantly bought the truck. Had to have that with the granny low. This thing, dash pads in good shape. That's original. It's pretty amazing. So been working on this.